Here's the camera. All right, Thomas, are you ready?
Yeah,
You're ready? Good. Are we going to do the daily credit report?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on one second. We're gonna give the room a second to fill up. Okay. We want to look up here. You see where the eye is? You want to see as people join us,
Oh,
and then
I
you're gonna
see
say,
now.
"Yep." Are you gonna say hi to all the people?
Yeah, hi, people.
Okay.
Hi,
All
people.
right. I'd like to welcome everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the Daily Credit Report. My name is Jeremy Deysach, and I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness and the founder of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group. And this is something we do live every single night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific, Monday through Friday. I'm every Monday night, and we call this the Daily Credit Report.
Yeah.
So if you're joining us on Facebook in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, I'd like to welcome you all. If you're watching us on a rerun of it, I'd like to welcome you there too. This is Thomas, by the way. This is my son. Do you want to wave to the camera and say hi, people?
Hi, people.
Hi, people. Awesome. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is authorized user accounts, and the right way to build credit for your children and for others. Okay. So, what I want to do is I want to give the room a chance to fill up really quickly. But what we're going to talk about tonight is authorized user accounts, the benefits, the misconceptions, and what can be done to actually build credit for someone, including your kids, the right way. So in the meantime, while we let this fill up, I want to invite everyone again to join me every Monday night here in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group for the Daily Credit Report. Also, I want to, here we go, I'm going to set this up. I want to invite everybody to join me for next week. Next Monday night, at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. I am going to be broadcasting. I am, yes, I'm going to be broadcasting live with my daily credit report from Las Vegas, Nevada. So it's going to be kind of a neat thing coming up, right? Do you think it's going to be neat, Thomas?
Yeah.
Is it cool? Yep. So join me next week. That's next Monday, the 10th of May at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be streaming live and answering all your questions about credit from Las Vegas, Nevada. All right. So for tonight, we're talking about authorized. The camera's up here, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about authorized user accounts. All right. There's been a lot of talk in the group. Here, can you wait? You'll wait, right? Awesome. There's been a lot of talk today in particular in the group about authorized user accounts and people who've said, hey, my mother added me to her account. It raised my score. I've added my kid to their account so that they have a good score when they turn 18 or whatnot. And I want to clarify what really does happen with authorized user accounts in the FICO algorithm and when it comes to lending. And I want to clarify what it doesn't do, what authorized user accounts actually do not do for you. And so I want to start. Oh, by the way, Sasha, hello. I see you there. Rebecca, hello. Thanks for the highs. You guys, if you do have any questions, drop it in the comments section, and I can answer your questions here throughout the evening. But okay, authorized users. Let's start off with what an authorized user is. Do you know what one is?
Yeah.
What is it?
And repeat.
Okay. An authorized user is somebody that you add, to your credit account, okay? Your credit account, your credit card, your Visa, your MasterCard, your Amex, your Discover. You add them to this account, and it gives that person the opportunity to use the account to make purchases, okay? Here's the thing about being an authorized user. It's a great situation. You get all the benefits, the purchases and things like that. You do all the benefit, you get all those benefits without any liability. You're not actually being extended credit as an authorized user. So you don't have any liability to pay it back, okay? But think about something. When you don't have liability for the credit, for the money being lent, that's not your loan. That's not your credit. Years ago, you take the Wayback Machine. Years ago, authorized user accounts would give you credit added to your credit score. The purpose for this was so that housewives, the wife was always expected to be at home. Housewives would be able to get credit from their husband's credit cards because since they did not have an income, they had no way to obtain credit. So authorized user accounts giving credit goes back and heralds back to when women were expected to be at home in the kitchen. Okay. Fast forward now into current time and into reality, and authorized users benefiting your FICO score. That's been phased out many, many, many versions of FICO ago. Many, many, many. That's right. Many, many versions of FICO ago. The three latest incarnations of the FICO algorithm, FICO 8, FICO 9, FICO 10, and the new resiliency score, FICO 10.5, which was designed to help us measure, coming back from the pandemic, how likely it is for people to be able to recover from the economic trouble they ran into. So the newest versions of the FICO algorithm do not give any points whatsoever, right? Do not give. That's how we talk, right? Do not give. Thomas, what do you think?
Do not give.
Yeah, they do not give any points to an authorized user. Why? Because it's not your account. You have no liability. You did not borrow the money. Yes, Rebecca mentioned about the resiliency score. The resiliency score is something that they've come up with to determine how realistic it's going to be that you're going to be able to bounce back. And it's to give some guidelines for banks going forward to know whether or not they should lend to you, because they'll now know how you came back from a major adverse situation that affected the country and really the world. So point number one I'm making is right now, the authorized user account is not impacting your score. But my banker said it will. Well, your banker's wrong. My mortgage lender, loan officer, they said to add someone to it. They were wrong, okay? These people are not FICO certified. These people know how to read a credit report, but they are not educated, trained, or competent to know what goes into it. Even mortgage underwriters do not require, it's not required that they understand what goes into credit. It's just required that they can read the credit report very, very well. And this is where a lot of misconception comes from. So people are thinking things are still the same way as they were in 1950 when Ward Cleaver went off to work and June sat home in her day dress and her pearls in the kitchen making dinner and wondering what the boys were up to, okay? That's not how things are done anymore. Now, you may be going, but my mom added me to hers and I had a 700 score. I added my kid to their, okay, just hang tight on that thought. You're wrong, but hang tight on it. The next thing I want to talk about authorized users. So, let's say I want to make little Thomas here. I want to give Thomas a head start on credit. I want to get him a good FICO score. What would I do? Would I add little Thomas to my credit cards? Would it be? Do you think it would be a normal thing to give a credit card to a kid this age? Why? Or why not? If you think it wouldn't be appropriate to give a credit card to a kid this age, number one, you're right. And number two, there's no point in it. A child does not have a credit report, an actual credit profile, until they are 18 years of age. Okay, so if you put your kid on there when they're 14 to help build it, or 16 to help build it, or 7 or 5 or whatever to help build it, okay, it doesn't do anything. They don't magically get this history from before they were 18 years old. Well, I put my kid on my card, and then they were able to qualify for a Discover card when they turned 18. Want to know why that is? Because they didn't have bad credit to begin with. They had no credit, and they didn't owe large amounts of debt. They would have qualified for that card with or without you. Stop patting yourself on the back. Stop taking credit for something you didn't do. Now, if you want to give your little kid Or more realistically, maybe your 16-year-old or even your 18-year-old going off to college. If you want to put them as an authorized user on your credit card, go for it. If you want them to have an emergency card, something to use for emergencies, go for it. If you want to try to teach them about how to use these cards and spending, go for it. But it's not their card. It's not going to impact their credit. Well, I went on Credit Karma. I went on my FICO and it was on there and it impacted their credit. No, it didn't. My FICO, or as we call them, FICO scores, my FICO, Credit Karma, yes, they're going to show that card on the profile, but it's not being factored into your actual lending scores in the latest incarnations of the FICO algorithm. And your lending score is all that matters. Okay, you don't see your lending scores. The only way to get your lending FICO scores is to apply for credit. The credit monitoring that your bank gives you, the credit monitoring that my FICO gives you, the credit monitoring that Credit Karma gives you, even the credit monitoring Smart Credit gives you, those are not your lending scores. Once again, the only way to get your lending FICO score is to apply for credit. There is no other way. Doesn't that give me a hard inquiry? Yes, it does. Okay, so what's the point? What's the benefit of putting your kid on as an authorized user? Or if you're on mom's card as an authorized user, or dad's card, or you're on your kid's card, well, you can do shopping for them. You know, if you're picking up groceries for grandma and you're on grandma's card and you can use it to pick up the groceries, that's great. You can do her shopping. Maybe she's not mobile, she can't get out. It allows you to have access to a credit card for emergency situations. And it can teach responsible credit usage. But thus ends every single positive contribution that being an authorized user makes. Okay? I don't know how much more clearly to spell this out. Now, some of you may still be saying, but it worked for me. I did it. It worked for me. My mom put me on the card. It worked for me. My dad put me on his card. It worked for me. I put my kid on the card. It worked for me. Okay, we do not teach it worked for me. We don't teach anecdotal evidence in the free credit repair advice group. We teach facts, reality, compliant facts in conjunction with the FICO algorithm and the current credit system in the United States. If you think it worked for you, that's fantastic. You know, if you think the Loch Ness Monster is real, that's fantastic. You go with that, right? But that's based on anecdotal evidence. Based on factual evidence, the FICO algorithm and such, it doesn't help you. Now, some of you have run into a situation where you're going to go, but my mortgage lender, my broker, my loan officer told me to get on my husband's card, my wife's card, to get an authorized user account. Okay. Loan officers, once again, do not understand how credit works, nor do they understand actual underwriting guidelines. Every single set of underwriting guidelines, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA, all of them, all of the underwriting guidelines that are federally backed all have the same provision in them. They specifically require the underwriter to disallow from any consideration authorized user accounts. Let me throw that at you again. Underwriters are required to disallow any authorized user accounts from any sort of mortgage consideration. So the loan officer who told you put on an authorized user account was an idiot. There's no other way around. They were an idiot. They didn't know what they were talking about. And if they asked their own underwriters would have told them that. So authorized user accounts, what are they good for? Shopping, and maybe teaching your kids how to handle or how to use a credit card. Rebecca's got a question. When should my kid get a secured card? Rebecca, No kid should get their own credit card in their own name until they're 18 years old because, they're not able to get one in their own name until they are 18. They can't enter into a legally binding contract. So the age would be 18. Now, when they turn 18, you don't have to go secured. Wells Fargo has a tremendous student Visa card. It's a wonderful student account. Discover has a great student account. So you want to open credit and guide your child, open credit in their name when they turn 18, and you want to guide them into the correct usage.
Okay.
What's broken?
Okay.
I too loud? Is Daddy too loud?
That's too loud.
Yeah, I can be pretty loud. That happens. Do you need to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you say bye to all the people, Thomas.
Bye, people.
You're in the camera. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, do you want to go upstairs? You can go upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so when do you want to get a card for your kid? When do you want your kid to have an account? When they turn 18. That's the time. And you want to teach them, pardon me, let me close my office here and bar. You want to teach them to use the account appropriately. So if we want to maximize the point potential for your kid on their brand new credit card, and when they're starting off, they're going to have like a $300 limit. Some will get up to a $500 limit credit card. That's generally around the credit limit for a starter card. So if they've got a $300 limit credit card, we're going to want to find a monthly spend of between 1% and 3% of that $300 limit. So that would be $3 to $9, no more and no less. Any less you broke it, any more you broke it. That's the zone, the region, the percentage of utilization in the FICO algorithm that's going to add the most points to your kid's score every month. So let's take something they already subscribe to, Fortnite or iTunes or Spotify or Netflix, something like that. And we put it on their credit card, their new student Wells Fargo Visa, or their new student Discover card. You put that 1% to 3% recurring spend on that credit card. Okay. And then you're going to want to set your 18-year-old up with a checking account. Actually, that's something you can train them on starting at 16. So they can have a debit card and begin to learn responsible usage before they hit the big times at 18 years old. So you want to have them take their savings account or their checking account ideally and set that up to pay that Discover card or that Wells Fargo Visa card when it's due. So money goes on the card, money gets paid. Money goes on, money gets paid. It's automatic. Then what do they have to do? Nothing. Sit back. They listen to music. They bust on husks and Fortnite. They do whatever they're doing. That's that monthly fee. And what's happening is every month the same procedure is happening. The month starts off, suddenly, bam, that charge hits. That's activity. You get points for activity. How many points is your kid going to get? They're going to get the most possible FICO points in the algorithm because they're in the perfect zone, 1% to 3%. That's how much that activity is. Now, that money's going to stay on the card, creating a trended average daily balance until the bill is due. And what does a trended average daily balance do? It adds points to the score. Well, how much is it? Well, it's a 1% to 3% of the limit trended average daily balance. So you're maximizing the FICO algorithm with that score. You're maximizing their points. And then their checking swoops in when the bill is due and pays it. And that shows the willingness and ability to repay in a timely fashion. By the way, that's what builds their credit. A history of willingness and ability to repay in a timely fashion on lent money. So that pays, and bam, they get points for that. So it's activity, average daily balance payment, activity, average daily balance payment, points, 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 points. All they have to do is sit back, play Fortnite, sit back and listen to their music, and it raises their score. That's what you do for your 18-year-old. Can I get my 17-year-old a head start on it? No, you cannot. What about my 16? No, you cannot. But my mom put me on. No, that's not how it worked. But I added my daughter. That's not how it worked. You think that's how it worked. Your perception is that's how it worked. But in the actual mathematical formula workings of the FICO algorithm, that is not how it worked. Math doesn't take opinion into consideration. Math doesn't take it worked for me. If you go to me, hey, you know what? The other day, I took 2 plus 2 and it equaled 9. It was amazing. And then I did that for my kid. I made them go 2 + 2 = 9. God, it worked for me. Newsflash. 2 + 2 = 4. But it worked for anecdotal evidence, and it worked for me is not what we teach here in the you can go to other groups, by the way. They will absolutely help beef up any delusions or misconceptions or misinformation that you've got. They will be happy. I seem like an asshole. I know I do. I'm very blunt, I'm very direct, and I'm trying to set you on the right path. Okay? I've been doing this for 28 years. I've helped hundreds of thousands of people. I'm certified in the algorithm. I'm psychotic enough to learn that. Okay? Please, for the love of God, listen to me. I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this to help. So 1 to 3% authorized users doesn't really count. If you go to the file section of the group, I've also included an article on authorized users up there and what they do. But what I'd like to do is, if you've got any questions, any credit questions, they can be about authorized user accounts or anything else, go ahead and put them down in the comments section right now. And I'm going to take a look down there, and I am going to answer every single one of your questions right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
And we're back. All right. So, see a question in here. Wenderlin asks, I have a charge off with Capital One and they won't do a pay for delete. What should I do? Take a pause. Take a breath. Take a pause. Here's the thing. Most companies will not do a pay for delete. And there's a reason. There's a really good reason. When I explain it, it's going to make sense to you. When a credit company like Capital One reports to the credit bureaus that you're delinquent on an account, they are legitimately attesting under federal law that they are telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that this is factual, accurate, correct, and verifiable. So if they go and they're reporting this, and then they suddenly do a pay for delete, they're going back to the bureaus and going, well, just kidding. None of that was factual. The thing is, your credit report is a factual history of willingness and ability to repay on lent money. And when something's reported, it should technically be there kind of forever and ever. Okay, so pay for delete, that's one of the reasons it's never the first step in getting rid of collections. Your very first step should be investigation. What you want to do is you want to send investigation letters. Don't do this on Credit Karma or on my FICO or anywhere else. You want to send old school snail mail paper letters to the bureaus because you're trying to paper trail this, so you want to use paper. You're going to write these letters up, and these letters are going to refer to your Capital One accounts. And basically, you're going to be saying in an oversimplified way, hey, prove it. Prove it or remove it. Prove it, prove it. Prove it's mine, prove it's real, prove it happened, prove it, prove it, prove it. And if Capital One fails to verify and validate and document that everything is 100% actual, factual, correct, and verifiable as of today, not back when they reported it, but today, then that information gets permanently deleted, gone from the credit profile like it never happened. Now, it doesn't mean the debt's gone. If you owe someone money, you still owe them money. But their ability to report to the world's largest repository of unverified, unvalidated data, that goes away. So we start off in that procedure by obtaining the deletion first. Then we go back to settle it with Capital One, and we've got a slightly different situation, right? Now, if you go to settle that collection, settle that debt, and you go, tell you what, well, would you take a third on it? They go, no, we want the whole thing, or we'll stay on your credit, and we'll make you, we're evil, and you're the devil, and you're a deadbeat. You go, you know what? Here's the thing: you couldn't even report the credit correctly. You've been deleted from that. what would you settle on this? So the thing is, you've taken their power. Their power, Wenderlin, is they are holding your credit hostage. They are. They're standing between you and your goals. Okay. So we want to eliminate that. That does a couple things. Number one, it gives you some power in the negotiation. Number two, it takes away, whoa, little focus issue. It takes away that thing that is standing between, that is standing between you and the goal you've got. Does that make sense, Wenderlin? Let me know if that answered that for you. Great question, by the way. I love that. That was an excellent question. Let me take a look really quick, see what else we have in here. If you've got any other questions, just add them to the comment section. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to have a professional credit coach, if you'd like to have me, I'm a little tough, I'm a little blunt and direct. Hope y'all can handle it. I'm not for the thin-skinned, I'll tell you that. We do have a lot of coaches. I'm not necessarily for the thin-skinned. I'm for people who want to go hardcore and really make this happen and have exceptional credit for the rest of their life. But if you would like to hire Credilife, if you'd like to have a discovery call, a consultation with me, you can just use the link below. Go to www.bookcoachjd.com, bookcoachjd.com, and you can pick a day, an evening, even a Saturday morning that would work for you. And what we do is we do a discovery call. I always ask the same thing. Anyone who's had a consultation with me will tell you, yep, that's it. I ask you, so what are your goals? What's going on with your credit? And what prompted you to reach out? And then we talk about your goals. We talk about what's going on, and we put together a plan and steps and figure out services and action items. I explain the program, and we get you started on that recovery. We get you in position so that you can qualify for all the goals you've got. Be it getting a backyard for your kids to play in, be it having a good school system, a safe neighborhood for them for their first time in their life. Maybe they don't have to keep moving every year and wondering where their friends will be next year and what school they'll wind up in next year. Maybe you want to have, maybe you're going to be the first person in generations of your family to own a home. I mean, this is real stuff we deal with here. If you want to get in position for your goals, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, not a lot of other comments. I know I shifted a little bit midstream because I was getting all frustrated today because people were not listening when it comes to the bane of my existence, the authorized user question. All right, so again, let's reiterate. Authorized user accounts. Do you use them to boost up your score? Not your actual lending FICO scores. Yeah, Credit Karma might look good. My FICO might look good, but your actual lending scores are not going to use them. Additionally, you don't have a credit report until you're 18, so putting your kid on the credit card doesn't do anything. Oh, but don't they get the history back? Again, they don't have a report till they're 18. No, they get no history back before they've gotten a report. Authorized user accounts are kicked out, specifically disallowed from consideration by all mortgage underwriters, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, USDA underwriters, they all kick them out. Ag lending, portfolio lenders, they all kick it out. They all disallow it from consideration. So how do we build credit for our kids? Number one, go to the top of the group, and I have in the announcements section put an article called Pro Tips. It's a step-by-step, real specific step-by-step program on how to build your own credit and how to repair your own credit yourself. It's a full DIY set of instructions. Go ahead and follow that. That works for your kid. But again, we get the card open in their name. We put 1 to 3% balance to limit ratio on that card and set up checking to automatically, pay when it's done. I've got a number of kids in their 20s. I've got my 25-year-old with her 7, whatever the hell his score. She's driving a new car, has a house. My 20-year-old just went off to college. She's got a 770 score. She didn't even need me to co-sign for student loans. My other one's paying for med school herself and able to finance the goals or the loans and that herself. And I did for them what I'm saying for you to do. Okay. It is real. You want my anecdotal? That's my anecdotal, except my anecdotal is backed up by the actual FICO algorithm. I know I sound cocky. I know I sound arrogant. Maybe I'm mean. Maybe I'm rude. Maybe I hurt somebody's feelings. I don't care. This isn't about feelings. This is about making sure you don't make the wrong steps and bet massive amounts of time on misinformation. You don't have to like me. You just have to be safe. And that's that. I'm passionate. That's what I care for all of you. All right. Join me next. Next Monday? Join me next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific for the Daily Credit Report. I'm going to be broadcasting live from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, to the Free Credit Repair Advice Group. So that should be fun. Haven't figured out where in Vegas I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to try to find somewhere scenic. That'll be a lot of fun. And again, join us every Monday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific, right here in the Free Credit Repair Advice Group. And if you'd like to hire me, you'd like to have me as your coach, go to www.bookcoachjd.com. Thanks a lot. I hope you all have a great night. And remember, don't get upset. These are just the facts. The facts don't have feelings. We're looking out for you here in the group. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question. It will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credilife, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.